Unpopular opinion. I hate Darren Aronofsky. No offense.
That's all right. I know some people that do. So you hate Requiem for a Dream?
I love the wrestler.
I've seen Requiem for a Dream 4 times in 1 week. I was supposed to write about it. Look, I get it. The editing.
You saw it 4 times in 1 week?
Yes,
and you don't like it?
This was a long time ago, about 2 years ago, when I first tried to start the video essay thing, but it was at a point where it's like, I don't feel like there's much substance here, because I felt like the book was written in 1978. It was the start of the war on drugs, and we were 5 years away from just saying no. And the movie was in 2000. So it feels kind of dated even back then. So it kind of reads as like some sort of Ronald Reagan-esque PSA scandal to me. PSA commercial.
I disagree. I don't feel like it was trying to be a PSA. I mean, it was more like, I didn't read the source material, and I didn't even know that it was so dated. But I mean, like, the point of the film, through what Aronofsky was trying to present, if the source material wasn't presenting that already, was like an idea of we all have our vices sort of thing. And it's not like, oh, anti-drug. I mean, like, the vice of the mother character, I forget who the actor is, but she's awesome.
Ellen Burstyn.
Thank you. Ellen Bernstein. I mean, like, her vice isn't necessarily like her uppers that she started taking. Her vice is about wanting to fit in the red dress, and it's about vanity and wishing for a time when her husband was still with her, and for her family to be back together, and her kid not to be moved out of the house, and her being all alone. And you know, I don't really think that the overall goal of the film was to be a PSA, so I don't know if I would agree there.
It just kind of feels ham-fisted to me. And when you talk about uppers, the part where Jared Leto is talking with his mom, who gives that monologue of wanting to fit in the red dress, that scene is great. That's why she got an Academy Award.
Yeah, that was the Oscar scene.
When Jared Leto is talking in that hokey New York, Coney Island accent, "You on uppers, ma? I can hear your teeth chattering from all the way over here, for Christ's sake." Like,
he did a good job.
Like,
I enjoyed his performance in that film.
He's a decent actor, but he wasn't then. You could see it in the works.
Well, he wasn't in Suicide Squad recently.
I didn't even see that. I don't watch superhero movies anymore. It's the Academy Award-winning, Oscar-winning Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
And again, the makeup category's never really taken that seriously.
What? Okay. Who just talked? Because it sounded like it was coming from the background of whoever just talked, and I'm not sure. Who just said that? There's noises that are happening here, and I'm so confused. It's like there's a constant. I hear like an old Spanish woman talking in the background. I'm not crazy. Who was that?
I hear it too.
I'll find out someday.
It was the Babadook.
It was so attractive. But
Did you
anyway,
ever see that one film with Jared Leto where he like plays like Mark David Chapman?
No,
Yes.
I think maybe I tried to watch the first like couple minutes or something, and then was like, well, good job.
He looks like he doesn't even look like Mark David Chapman. He looks like a fat Bill Hicks.
It's like the guy who directed it was his friend or something, if I'm not mistaken, and he just put so much faith in him to make a not shitty movie that he gained like 100 pounds.
And
nobody paid attention to it. Like, nobody saw the movie, and he put himself through that much like physical torment for nothing.
I'm sure he enjoyed eating like donuts and ice cream for a couple months now.
Yeah, and I think you'd start to feel like shit if your entire goal was to put on weight really quickly, you know?
He said that he ate pints of chocolate ice cream, and he would melt chocolate ice cream in the microwave and drink them with olive oil and soy sauce.
So disgusting. Ugh,
Yeah.
why soy sauce? Soy sauce isn't even like that high in calories.
Probably
Soy
just
sauce
salt.
is disgusting, anyways.
Yeah.
The
Well, I
sodium.
mean, yeah, ice cream's good. I don't know.
I've been going ham on Rainbow Sherbet lately.
On what? Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely. I
So-
know you yelled about it for 2 hours, but the Death Note movie fell apart in the first, 10 minutes, and I saw only a half hour of it, and I'm like, well, gotta go rewatch the anime now.
Yeah. Yeah. It was
Everything is just
Special
bad.
movie.
I can't even...
very, very special
Holy shit.
film. He deleted his Twitter
I
now.
watched it being like, it can't be that bad. So wrong.
Somebody's asking in the comments, I'm very much looking forward to the Florida Project and Call Me By Your Name, and that's why I'm seeing them at Vancouver Film Fest, because I missed them at Toronto Film Fest,
Oh, where is this?
unfortunately. Hello. Hello, welcome.
Yeah, we have a new...
Hi.
Hi. How's everybody?
Good. We're just playing Paper Mario right now.
Oh, shit.
Wait, which one?
Huh?
Which one?
All of them.
I'm playing Arma IRL.
I'm playing paper.
I just got this
Just
link.
regular
I didn't
paper.
know I was signed up to this.
We were kind of talking about Darren Aronofsky, but not really. And also Death Note, but not really.
Oh, are you talking about Mother? I just saw Mother.
I was gonna ask Jawburst.
Yes.
I'm assuming one of your gripes, if you don't like Darren Aronofsky at all, I'm assuming that one of your gripes with Black Swan is because it's too similar to Perfect Blue.
No, it's just that it felt like it was unnecessarily artsy. Like, I don't mean to sound like
it's a film that's.
It,
The
it
whole plot
suffers
is
from-
based in the art scene.
Yeah, I know, but it's almost like it's too easy. Like, that's kind of what, like, it feels like it was going through what I call the American Beauty art house checklist. Like, we gotta have this in our art movie.
shit.
Let's have a ballerina.
What?
Let's have a lot
But
of
you can't
colors.
say
a lot
let's
of
have
blacks
a
and
ballerina in our movie as though that was something that that was on a checklist when that was the whole setting of the film, right?
I
don't think
know,
that's not a
but-
fair criticism.
whites. Like,
It's like that, like you make a movie about the ballerina. Like why? Of course, there would be a ballerina in it.
did it have to necessarily be a ballerina, though? I mean, I guess if you want to be romantic and, like, considered artsy, for lack of a better word, then yes.
I don't know if I would consider ballerina a trope for an art film in the first place.
It typically is. I
Ballet
mean,
is
how
a
many
type of art.
low-level non-art films do you see where a ballerina and the art of ballet dancing is not a center theme? Or is a center theme? Like, low-level, common denominator, crowd-pleasing movies.
Like what?
Exactly. I can't think of any.
Well then.
They're all like it's all trying to be like artsy.
Exactly, I'm wrong.
Even Kanye West did this. He included all those ballerinas in the Runaway video, and he was like, I'm on another level, bro.
Ballerinas are in shit tons of music videos, that's for sure. If we want to call it a trope for music videos, I can agree with that in some sense.
It's a trope.
Like that's music videos. People dance in music videos, and a lot of the times they throw in ballerinas, even though it has nothing to do with the genre. That's a trope, kind of. But I don't know if I can agree that that's something that people do for art films. I watch a lot of art films, you know.
I know.
I don't know if I've seen a lot of ballerinas.
Admittedly, you're newer. I'm old school. I watched Citizen Kane and Taxi Driver.
I've watched Citizen Kane.
I was
looking forward
to break.
Citizen Kane is slightly overrated for one reason.
This is true. I mean,
everybody says it is the
Airbag.
be-all, end-all. This is the greatest movie ever made. And I hate that because it
I've never
almost
seen
seems
it.
like it's the correct answer. It's like when people say Full Metal Alchemist is the greatest anime ever made, Or like Crime and Punishment is the
Not
greatest
bad,
book
but
ever
arguable.
written. It's just shit you're supposed to say,
Well,
but
yeah,
there are
yeah.
other options.
I agree with that. I agree with that. That people hold certain works of art onto pedestals, not necessarily to because of their quality, but as sort of little cards that they can pull out of their back pocket, in a sense, which may or may not have just happened. To be fair, but yeah, I mean, like Citizen Kane, I can understand its cultural relevance and its impact on the industry as a whole.
I've
but
never seen it.
It's good.
It's a great movie. I'm not saying it isn't. It's one of the greatest, but
it's also kind of boring. It's also really boring.
I think it's
the
like
first
just like
mainstream
your
art house
favorites.
movie. It's a drama that lacks any sort of action, and it's old. Like, of course, same thing with
Not
Gone with the Wind.
not just like lacks any sort of action, but it's literally like the goal of the character is the same in every scene in the film, you know. And it feels very, very repetitive and long. Would be my main issue with it, is that it's a very repetitive film.
Doesn't Caden from Synecdoche suffer the same fate? He wants to create that play every single scene, and he thinks that he's dying every single scene.
I cannot disagree with you more. The film, I mean, if every scene in that film was the same, I wouldn't have 5 parts of a review for it, you know.
No, I'm not saying it's all the same. I'm
Still
just
not
saying
good.
Caden's motivation doesn't really change that much. That's fine.
I don't agree. I mean, like, there are aspects that are core to his character for sure. You know, there's recurring themes and concepts, but that doesn't necessarily make the film repetitive. My gripe with Citizen Kane is it's literally a guy just going like, I have some questions to ask about this guy, blah blah blah, in every scene, and
It's a noir.
It felt not just like, oh, the character's goal was the same from the beginning to the end of the film. It was like each scene was very similar in terms of how it affected the plot, which is not much at all.
That's the
You know,
bullshit.
I feel like you could have removed some scenes from the middle of the film and no one would notice that anything's missing, sort of thing. You know, I mean, it's still obviously a great movie, but I just